Today I want to talk about sleeping with the enemy and what does it mean for you, the problems it brought and the solutions. I'm 65, soon to be 66, and I do like living by myself, but I do get lonely. And all my life, I figured I needed somebody, some man to fill that void that I had. And I ended up kind of sleeping with the enemy. I don't know, have you guys ever felt that way? That you take the devil you know instead of allowing yourself to find the right person? That's my life story. And I'm tired of it. And I don't want to do it anymore. Sleeping with the enemy, what does that look like? So let's look at what sleeping with the enemy looks like and what we can do about it. Now I feel I have control of my life. Now I feel I make the choices and I feel strong now. So let's go there too, okay? So we're going to start with the problem and end with a solution for you guys, all right? This is off the cuff, so it's just from my heart. Let's get going. Anyway, I was married at 15 years old. My mother had to sign for me to get married. You couldn't get married in Canada, where I lived in Ontario, under the age of 16 without parental consent. And she did. She signed for me to get married. So I got married. I needed that man in my life. I didn't love him. I cared about him. And I did. I guess I'll take that back. I did love him, but I loved him as a friend. I wasn't in love with him. I loved him as a friend. And really bad childhood, really a lot of trauma as a child. And I didn't have the strength, and I didn't know that you were okay without a partner. And, when we grew up at our age, that was our goal, was to find a man, get married, and have your kids, right? And that's what I wanted to do. So anyway, I married this man. He saved me from my life. And I stayed with him almost 7 years. And it just got worse and worse. We were 2 kids trying to live a life, and it just wasn't working very well. We both didn't know how to be together. And I think because I wasn't passionate about him in that way, it was harder, So anyway, we split up. And by that time, I had 3 kids. And it was really difficult to try to do your life by yourself. And I was scared to death. And this other man came around, and I latched onto him like you would not believe. Just totally latched on to this person. And we ended up having a child and getting married. But again, I wasn't truly in love with him. I loved what he did for me. I loved how he treated me. I loved all of that in the beginning. And then it just got really kind of mixed up. He was very controlling. Let's put it that way. He was very, very controlling. He definitely wore the pants in the family. He made all the decisions. He was an alcoholic, this type of person. And I ended up, my youngest was, so I had 4 kids then. My youngest was 2, and I left him. I never really did have really good tolerance for people. And, and I think that goes for my own mental health. But I didn't have the tolerance I needed to make anything stick. But I also had that need to make someone stick, so it was like really, really, really difficult for me and my children. So years and years, go by, and I have the occasional relationship, but date a lot. I mean, to be real, to be really honest, I don't think anybody really wanted to be with me permanently. I was a young woman with 4 children. And yeah, it's just, who wants to settle down with 4 children when you're 30 years old or when you're 40 years old. Not too many men want to take on that responsibility. So I dated here and there, ended up in really, really bad relationships because I needed somebody to need me, and I needed that I'm okay. So it was not good, and it wasn't productive for me or my kids, right? And I had addictions and all the, total chaos, right? Well, now, let's go back to when I was 50. I decided I was going to meet somebody for me, okay? Really, really try to meet somebody for me, not because I needed somebody, but because I wanted somebody in my life. So I went online, made a profile, the whole 9 yards, and met this man, wonderful man, attractive, my age, a couple years older, really, really gentle, sweet man, had a motorcycle, and we started to enjoy ourselves, and we had fun. Now we had difficulties as well, because I was insecure, he was insecure, and I would test him, and I believe he tested me too, and testing that love, right? And he was also a man that needed his own space. So he needed a lot of time by himself. He didn't have kids, didn't have he was close to his family, but didn't want to spend time with his family. Very much a recluse. And I was totally the opposite. And, I thought, well, maybe we could bring out the best in each other. Actually, it was totally wrong. We tried for 14 years, 15 years to make this relationship work, and it did not work. I would get upset because he didn't want to spend enough time with me. I would push him away, then he would come back and ask me to try again, and I would do that, and then he'd push me away, and then I would make more compromises, or he would try, and it was just this struggle. And the sex was good, everything like that was good. So definitely sleeping with the enemy. He was also willing and able to, he was controlling. He was a little bit bossy. And I liked that. I liked being told what to do and what not to do. It kind of gave me some freedom where I didn't have to make any of my own decisions. For a few years, I enjoyed that part, but then I got resentful, and then I got pissed off about it, and I wanted to make my own decisions. But I didn't see a future. When would we go futuristic? When would we move in together? When would we build this life together? We didn't celebrate with the kids. We didn't do any of that because he couldn't handle being around people. So it was really hard, especially for someone who values that type of family interactions. Anyway, it was really bad in many ways and really good in many ways. But eventually I had to grow, and I had to tell myself, I didn't need this. I needed what I needed. I want someone to be there with me. I want someone to make me feel like they want to be with me as much as I want to be with them. I want someone who's willing to devote the time and the effort into our relationship. We were engaged twice, and then he called it off twice. Just craziness. And it was sad because it didn't work, but really eye-opening and really my chance to grow. I just grew really, really slow. And I learned to love myself really, really slow. And over the last couple of years, I've learned to love myself first and put the relationship second. So I'm not with him. I haven't been with him for over a year. We've talked, and we'll probably always talk, every once in a while. But it's to a point where I want to have the relationship that I deserve. I want to be in love. It doesn't have to be a fairy tale love. It just has to be love. It has to be two people caring about each other and wanting the best from each other and allowing each other to be who they are. You know, someone that I can respect and someone that respects me. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at today. And I'm living that. I'm online, I'm meeting people, talking to people, and hopefully something will click. Life is too hard to make relationships so important that they destroy who you are. I deserve to be happy. Whether that's alone or with somebody, I deserve to be happy. And I there's things that you can do. So let's talk about solutions, right? So there's things that you can do to make your life better by yourself. Get a hobby or two. Get out and meet people. Get yourself on a dating site or get yourself in a social club where you can go to meet people your own age. Let your friends know you're looking. You know, those things are all good. Use affirmations to build yourself up. I read tarot cards, so I pull tarot cards every day. I'm journaling more than I was. I'm being honest with myself. I don't need a relationship. I don't need a man to make me feel good or take away my abandonment issues. I need to deal with that. And I want somebody in my life to enhance my life. If they can't enhance my life, they're not going to fit. So they have to fit my life. I don't have to fit theirs. You know, yes, of course, there's compromise, but not to the point that you're hurting yourself or that you're not happy or you feel like something's missing. So I'm not looking for perfect. I'm just looking for something real, you know, and if it doesn't come, I know I'm going to be okay. And I never truly believed that before. I never really believed I'd be okay without anybody. I do now. So anyway, I just wanted to say that I'm going to do more of these videos where we're just sitting and talking. So I hope you all have a good day. Be brave, be strong, and love endlessly. Bye for now.